talk, but we're going to go right to another song that I wrote. And I was teaching at Stone Mountain Middle School. And what happened was, I was supposed to go, it was so pouring down rain. It was just awful. It was awful weather, and I was supposed to go to Nashville to work on the album called Winning Heart, oddly enough. And so what was happening was, I didn't want to go. I saw I pulled away, and it was like Stone Mountain rose up out of the ground. As I was going up the hill, it was like, whoa, look at this beautiful, beautiful thing. And I got that I didn't want to leave. So we decided to throw in this song, Love Song to Where We Live. It's pouring down rain on 285. I'm not really ready for that 4-hour drive. They're counting on me to show up with the band, carrying dreams in our hands. All these connections are too good to lose, and I don't really mind paying my dues. Leaving the streets to prove I got what it takes. Someday they'll give me a break. But my heart starts yearning, and I get outside. I see a mountain of stone rising into the sky. My body may be leaving, but a part of me is staying behind. I'm going home to America, can't you see? It's my town, and here I want to be. The heart of the South is beating there for me, where I'm never alone. Going back home, Atlanta. Going back home, Atlanta. The road is what I wanna do. When I started writing and singing, I knew I'd have to keep at it, go from town to town. Some days it's getting me down. I'll start dreaming of a city so fine, dogwood blossoms and Georgia pines, kudzu blankets and Dixie stew, tender moments with you. I'd be sitting right by your side, taking a porch swing for a ride, sipping tea from a jar, leaving my cares behind. I'm going home to Atlanta, can't you see? It's my town, it's where I want to be. The heart of the South is beating there for me, where I'm never alone. I'm going back home, Atlanta. Going back home, Atlanta. Night lights rocking, we're having fun. Parties on Beach Street, we got it all. Going home to Atlanta, can't you see? It's my town, and where I want to be. The heart of the South is there for me, where I'm never alone. I'm going back home, Atlanta. I'm going back home, Atlanta. Going back home, As you can tell, songs come from within, come through us and up and out of us and express where we are at the time. And I need to take a deep breath. I've had some challenges lately, and I just realized I was singing Home to Atlanta and realizing, much like that day, I'm almost off my game a little. You know, it's been a challenging year. Some of you know the incidents. I almost grabbed the mic during the prayers for friends. You know, I've had some things going on. And rather than go into those things, I think we're limited to 17 seconds anyway, aren't we? You know, going, if you're Abraham Hicks fans. So I'm really not going to dwell on the things and the big challenges and the difficulties that I've had lately, but I want you to know that it doesn't have to pull us off our game. And how do we do that? Is going to be part of what I'm talking about this morning. How do we keep life or life experiences or what's going on in our heart, things we're feeling, life challenges, anything, from pulling us off of who we are and what we're here to do. I go to a place in Cherry Creek, New York. I have, by the way, Charlie's Angels that go with me. I've got some friends from this very church who've been up to this beautiful land. And near that land is a place called Chautauqua. And Chautauqua, New York is a beautiful place that I've been going to since 1993, I guess, every summer. And back in 1993, I had not really connected much with my dream. I had written some really bad country songs about the ex-husband, which some of you have heard. It's on that record. One of them was on the record back there. But at Chautauqua, I went to this building that was so beautiful, and it almost called to me. You know that feeling? You're walking along and a building calls to you to walk in. And it was the Literary Society of Chautauqua, the Women's Literary Society. And in this building were beautiful tapestries, just breathtaking, that these women had made at the turn of the century. Easily, most of them were 100 years old or older, some of them 200 years old. And tucked in this alcove, in this corner, was a tapestry that went ceiling to floor. And it was very narrow, and it had a woman that had needlepoint in her lap. And stitched into the fabric was the 1 Timothy quotation from the Bible, "Neglect not the gift that is in thee." And so I visited this, I'm getting a chill telling you this. I visited this tapestry every summer. I would go and I would sit in front of this tapestry and appreciate the work, of course, the handiwork of it. But I would just feel something, I would feel a connection to this tapestry and that specific Bible verse. And I started getting it, the reason I was drawn to it was the same reason that I'm doing what I'm doing right this minute. You know, I connected with something then that I'm still doing now. At the time, I was going through a very rocky divorce, abandonment. I'm a single mom with no child support, and it was just rough. And I used to walk in my neighborhood for exercise because I knew I needed, you know, that. I was grumpy, and it was kicking gumballs every day. It was like kicking them with my foot, you know, I was really mad. And I thought, you know, just gotta process this anger. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna raise 2 little girls? And by myself, you know, really. No family in town. And I did join a little Unity church, and I went and sat in the back of Unity Atlanta, you know, a lot and cried. Is my memory of it. And I remember kicking that walk and kicking those gumballs and getting it in that moment. I went, what if I didn't spend my energy on that anger? And what if I did something that I want to do, that I would love to do? And I'm not kidding you, the sun came through the trees, just like in the, you know, the movies. Beautiful sun rays and the lines coming down. And I thought, well, I'd be a songwriter. And then immediately the thought was, nobody's going to believe you're a songwriter. Really, 1993. So in that immediate moment, I got this negative thing on, and then I went, well, a day at a time, a song at a time. You know, I immediately had a God thought that followed the negativity. And I went to the library and looked up what songwriters do. I'm a teacher, you know. So that started me on a path. That was that next right thing that headed me in the direction of becoming the blossom that I could be, you know. The seed had been planted in that moment with the sun coming through the trees, right? Much like a seed in a flower. And we do have some video footage that I'm going to try to put up right now if we can make it happen. I had to write a song about these beautiful flowers that grow in our yard. They're called moonflowers. Moonlight shining gently on the water. Once again we're here beneath the stars, watching as your eyes grow wide with wonder. Do you know how beautiful you are? Moonflowers bloom at twilight, fragrantly fill the night, dancing together, time stands still. Everything we need inside. Is there a chance our love will last forever, or fade away just like a flower's bloom? Have we really found our heart's true pleasure? Underneath the magic of the moon, moonflowers bloom at twilight, fragrantly fill the night, dancing together, time stands still. Everything we need inside. Is there a chance that love lasts forever, or fades away just like the flowers bloom? Have we really found our heart's true pleasure? Underneath the magic of the moon, underneath the magic of the Very inspiring, those plants. In fact, I truly do love the metaphor of the plant as a way of talking about neglect not the gift that is in me, or doing your dream, whichever topic you want to use this morning. And I would like for you to take a moment, most of you have something in you that you would like to share with the world. So there's something that you're here to do. I believe that. And we've got Tim Rainey up there. Tim, where are you? Waving at me, Tim. Okay, Tim Rainey's a great example. I wrote this right, I walked up, I said, "What is your dream?" And he said, "Well, I work at Lake Lanier." I said, "Whoa." I just thought how lucky. And immediately he said these 5 things. He said, "Well, what do? I do hydropower, flood control, navigation, environmental stewardship, recreation, and water supply quality." And I went, whoa, what a huge responsibility. I mean, immediately I thought, oh wow, his dream is being out in nature and riding around in a boat and making sure people don't mess up on the water. No, so much more. And so what is Tim's gift? His gift is leadership. His gift, as I talked to him, I kept talking to him and I kind of got it that his gift is seeing the forest for the trees. And the want ads don't have that one either. People who can see the forest for the trees, that's not in there. But this man pulls together those 5 things, 5 different people in charge of all of those operations, and he's making sure that these things, the heart of what Lake Lanier is, he is creating the opportunity for that land and that water to become all that it can be, like that flower. No different than what he does. So, way cool. Looks like you've got a son blossoming that was up here. That's about to be just as 2 sons, okay. Maria, I talked to her about it, and I hope you don't mind me just pointing you out, because I immediately saw something in you. I thought, that lady's got something going on. And darn it, right, she took a moment to think, what is my dream, what's going on inside of me? And she said, I hope you don't mind me sharing it. Facilitating exercise programs for the elderly. What an incredible thing that is. I immediately was go down and talk to my mom and dad, send you to Tallahassee. Justin, he's a songwriter. Did y'all know that? Justin, right back here, running the camera. He did a volunteer work right now, and he just stood up and was doing what he was asked to do. And did we know that he was a songwriter? Maybe you all know that. I didn't know that. Gay, her job is creating bliss. And I'm not kidding. There's not, in the want ads, bliss, creator of bliss. It's just not there. But Yay does that. And she looks 5 years old, and she's ageless. And she is a little, we nicknamed her Delinquent Daughter. I'm sorry, when we went on our trip to New York. But the truth is, she's full of mischief and fun. That mischief translates into, who cares what's going on? We're going to make this work. We're hungry, we're lost, we're going to eat corn on the cob, which they did do. They didn't know where they were. They couldn't tell people where they were because they didn't know where they were. We're lost. Oh, where are you? We're in a cornfield, And she is happy. Is that the truth? Does that sum it up? Okay, I've got witnesses. And meanwhile, Linda and I are on ATVs driving everywhere looking, yelling, where are you? You hear us. But they were totally lost. She and Judy totally lost. And what Gay did in that moment was be totally cool and create bliss. We're hungry. Oh, here's corn. They took it and ate some corn, and then fine. Of course, they were fine. It's not. Every pathway leads you home. That's another song on one of those records back there that we wrote. But every pathway really does lead you home. Our job is to not get all freaked out, add more freak to the freak to the freak. Do you know what I'm talking about? Freak to the freak to the freak. Not let it snowball. What can you do? And when I do this talk, often people come to me and they really do not know their dream. They don't know what it is. They kind of have an idea, or maybe they're afraid to say it like I was. I wanted to say I'm a songwriter. And I did a stupid thing. I shared it with my big brother. I said, I think I want to be a songwriter. And he goes, you went, how many songs have you written? That's big brother stuff. So it's not always, I like to point this out, it's not always best to share it with people who might be immediately critical, just for the record, And maybe your family is not the one to share it with. I'm just throwing that out. But you will know somebody, you will have somebody in your life that has pom-poms out and is ready to be the cheerleader for you. And I want to say right now that this church is that. I mean, it's kind of what I got from Maria sharing. This church is that. You can join the HUG committee, and you can tell people you need a church home. If you don't come to our church, go to church somewhere, because a church home makes all the difference. I am going to go into meditation in about 3 minutes, but I want to make sure I share a couple of things with you. One of the action steps you can take immediately, if you don't quite know what you want to do, is talk to Tim, talk to Maria, talk to Justin. Get in that energy of what it feels like when somebody's doing their dream. Ask these musicians where they're playing next, When I watch Clay play bass, I came in and I immediately told him, I said, you don't just play bass, you're a performance artist. He immerses in the music. You don't have to do a thing. You can sit in your chair and you can watch him play. This guy next to him too, Tom, I almost forget Tom's name. But you can immerse yourself in the music and what it feels like to be in the midst of somebody who's doing their dream, You can listen during meditation and hear this brilliant drummer do that, I call it the bring thing. makes it feel like you're in a fairy tale. Do you know what I'm saying? You can be immersed in someone else's dream, feel the energy of that, and ask for God to help you discover what it is you're here to get. You know, give it away. It's another song I would love to do right now. I have a whole other hour. Another thing you can do, go to the library. Okay, I'm a teacher. I can't help myself. I have 3 books here that I brought. A very worn out one. This will be back in the back with my CDs if you want to look at these after the service. But The Artist's Way, amazing lady, Julie Cameron. See how worn out my book is? Okay. Of course, Wayne Dyer. I mean, he's on it, right? I got an autograph copy. And then this is the funniest book I ever got. It's a real old book. Got it at Goodwill. Do It. Let's Get Off Our Butts. And it's B-U-T-S, okay? But I can't do that. But, you know? So, for years, I just opened it to a page, and darned if it wasn't exactly what I needed to see for that day. You have the guidance probably right on your bookshelf. What is it? Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway is the title of a book that I never read, but I kept it on my shelf just so I could see the title of it, you know? So what you can do right now is support others in their dream, you know? Go to their shows, go to their plays, go to Lake Lanier and send prayers to, you know, to the people that are keeping it up and running, you know? Just don't worry about it, and then ask for God to reveal it to you. And it really, really will come. You know, if I had unlimited time, I would talk about, you know, some of the people that have inspired me. But one of the quotes that stands out, whatever you're daydreaming about, whatever's kind of on in your brain, that might be it. You know, whatever's kind of constantly popping into your head. Michael actually made drums out of, what were they, the little...
Nail kegs.
Nail kegs, when he was how old?
I guess it was about 8.
He was 8 years old. You know, he was becoming a drummer percussionist way back. It was one of the first things that he felt like doing. So go back in time, think about what kind of got lit up your eyes. My favorite quotation from Marianne Williamson is, God's will for us is that which lights up our eyes.